Hello friends! Are you ready to get a little bit naked with me today? We're going to talk about how to put a shaper on, these wonderful things here. It's a bit like holding up my bras. It's a little weird, I will admit. We're going to talk about putting on a velvet headband or a shaper with inbuilt velvet on if you want to keep your hair parted at the front. So I had a request for this video and I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I keep my part and I keep, a lot of hair showing, but I also put my shapers on and they're super secure. So come on with me today and let's talk all about the bare necessities. All right, so shapers usually come in two different kind of formats, as it were. We've got shapers like this one, which is the Wendy from Rapunzel, and it has the velvet headband sewn into the shaper. Or you get shapers that go on like this one, which is the classic shaper from Rapunzel. It doesn't have a velvet headband, it's just a little pillow. So you must have a velvet headband to wear them. So this is a velvet headband. I think this one's also from Rapunzel, but I've got a few of them from a bunch of different places because they are an absolute necessity. If you do not have this, you are gonna have a slipping wrap all day and you're gonna be irritated. So do yourself a favor if you're thinking about wrapping, buy a velvet headband. I don't care where you get it from, just buy a velvet headband. So typically when people have their shapers on, you'll see that their hair will be completely back. Now my hair is an absolute mess today. This is part of the reason why I'm wrapping, but I'll just sort of demonstrate it. Normally you'll see everything sort of pulled straight back this way. Now, for me, I have a heart-shaped face, bit of a round-shaped face. I need a part. I need something to stop and sort of split my face. So that sounds very gory, split my face. So I always have a part in my hair. So I'll just toss my part up. I use my natural part usually, and I'll do one of two things. I'll either put my hair up with just an elastic. Always make sure you get one without the metal because you don't want to catch, or I'll use a scrunchie. In this case, an oomph-tastic scrunchie from Rapunzel, depending on how much volume I want and or what shaper I'm wearing. So first we're going to talk about putting on a velvet headband and another shaper. So in that case, I would actually use the oomph-tastic scrunchie. And all I do, I never brush my hair, I never use product, I just sort of really stimulate the scalp, get it all crazy, and very loosely, so I'm not yanking, I'm just very loosely gathering it and putting it into a bun and putting the shaper on it. So I'll turn around so you can see that. So just put it into a loose bun. So you see it's like not twisted barely at all. It's a super loose bun. And then I'm just going to put the shaper over it, and it keeps it pretty darn flat. So like I don't have a big sticky outy bun or anything like that, but it is very like voluminous. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take sort of my hair and pull it just very softly forward so that all my sort of hair here where it's parted is sort of sitting at the front, and then it's sort of pushed back. Now be really careful here. This is where you're going to get headaches. This is where you're going to cause yourself problems. Don't tie your hair back super tight. Don't twist it tight. That's where you're going to get breakage. That's when you're going to get pressure points. Just be very loose, be very kind to your hair. And then you're going to grab your velvet headband. You're going to make sure that the velvet's going the right way. So basically the soft velvet should be going, sort of towards your scalp, so that as you're pulling back, it's gripping, right? So you want the grip to be going the opposite end of your hair. A really good, I don't know about other shapers, but a good hint for the Rapunzel shaper is this logo, always by your left ear, always. Then you know it's going the right way. So all I'm gonna do is put my velvet headband on. Now you put your velvet headband on exactly where you want it to sit because it's not gonna move. And if it moves, it means you're doing it wrong. I don't do it very tight. Again, I just keep it loose enough, like it's not gonna budge, but it's not, super tight. And then before I wrap, I just do this. Just lift it up once over my ears so that it sits over my ears a little softly. And then I'll pull my hair just again, a little bit more out. So it looks like I've got sort of this generous part and all this hair is sitting in the front, but all I've done is pull. And you can see, like, it looks ridiculous, right? This is why we're gonna put a wrap over it. And then all you're gonna do with a shaper like this one is just, I always try to come from the back, again, because you wanna bring the sort of momentum of your wrap forward or you're gonna get a headache. So I put this sort of on my head like this, and then I just let it sit on top of the bun, like so. And then you just give this a tie, and then you're just gonna stick the ends up inside. So voila. Now you can see with the Oomtastic scrunchie how much poof and how much volume this gives me. So if I didn't have the Oomtastic scrunchie, now don't do this, but I will just do this to demonstrate so you guys can see the difference. Take the scrunchie out. You would typically take all this off. You don't want to be leaving stuff on or fussing with stuff because you can cause breakage and all that great, wonderful stuff. And you do want to keep your hair kind of in good shape. So see here, when all I did was just put my hair in a little bit of a sort of a half pony with my natural hair without the scrunchie, that it sits a lot further back, it's not up, it's a little less oomphy. I mean, still a lot of volume. This is a really, you know, voluminous shaper, but it's a little bit sort of less crazy volume. So that's what you're gonna do if you're gonna wear a velvet headband, is you're going to, you know, part and put your hair on. So now you're probably asking, well, that's all well and good with the velvet headband, but what about, oh God, my insane hair today. What about, you know, if you've got a shaper with velvet on it, how do you do that same thing? It's actually very simple. More simple, actually, I think, than the velvet headband. So the same thing, you're gonna just get all your roots lifted because you don't want anything flat. You don't want any pressure or flat or pulling, or you're gonna get a headache with your abs. So same thing, we're just gonna put it in a bun, very loosely, no brushing, nothing like that. Like, no one's gonna see your hair. It doesn't matter if it's lumpy. I did that. Same thing, we're gonna pull this forward a little bit. Now we're gonna take our shaper with the velvet headband or with the Wendy, and we're going to start it at the back and pull it up like so, keeping it nice and big, and then you're gonna set it, not all the way forward, but just sort of right where you want it, keeping your fingers extended so you can pull this down. Now, I know I made that look really easy. I promise it does get easier with practice. The Velcroed ones, do it the exact same way. If you have a shaper with Velcro on the back, come from the back, put it where you want it, and then tighten the Velcro. And then you're just going to do the same thing. You're just gonna pull the hairs out so it sort of looks how you want it to look. And then with the Wendy, I pull my volume back, and you're ready to go. Now you're ready to put your scarf on and you're ready to look fantastic. So as you can see, this lets you have a part. This lets you have your hair come down the front. If you want to, you can even, sometimes I'll pull my little sort of sideburns out here, like so. So I'll leave some hair sort of down. Sometimes I'll give it a bit of a twist and a curl. And basically I just do this because, like, for me, it's not a spiritual thing. So I like to leave my hair out. It softens it a little bit for me. And like I said, it gives me that all important stop in the center of my forehead, which helps keep my face looking more angular. So this is my tips and tricks, I guess, for how to make your shapers work with a part in the front of your hair, and things to just not do. No tightness, no pulling, no brushing, nothing like that. Otherwise you're gonna get headaches. So if you have any comments or if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything in particular, you know, leave them below. Let me know if you want me to do this video again, not sort of focusing on the part, but really focusing on the you know, pulling your hair forward, tips and tricks, that sort of thing. I'm a super headache prone person, and these are the things that for me have kept headaches away from my wrapping life. I don't get headaches when I wear wraps, even if I wear 3 or 4 scarves. It's really about how you put your shaper on. If you're putting your shaper on wrong, you're gonna have issues. So take the time, be careful. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about. If you enjoyed this, definitely hit like and hit subscribe below. I'm gonna be doing some more Wrap to Basics videos in the future, and we're gonna be learning all about the things you need to do to have a successful and happy wrap life. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Bye.